Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to this really special session that we're going to do here this morning. I'm Tommy Collier, and I've got the beautiful, amazing Kathleen Cameron with me. And we're going to be talking about the future of the coaching industry and what's happening right now and what we're so excited about that's going on. So I want to invite you to stay to the end of this interview today because we're going to tell you about something that is really, really cool that you're not going to want to miss out, that is starting really, really soon. So Kathleen, welcome. How are you today, my dear?
I am so good. I'm in such a beautiful energy. Yesterday I turned 40.
I know, so good. Happy birthday.
Thank you. It was so special. And the messages that I have sitting on my phone right now are unfreaking believable. So I feel the love. Cannot respond to it all, but thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, so good. It's beautiful. Looked so beautiful. I'm trying to pass off like I didn't have major FOMO, but it's okay. I'll get through it. So, yeah. So, okay. Let's get into this because I think this is going to be a really fun conversation. Before we kind of dive into the past, present, and future of where this whole coaching industry is and is going, for those of that may be watching or watching the replay who don't know your story fully, I want to just kind of go through that a little bit. So, kind of where did this whole journey begin for you, Kathleen?
Oh my gosh. It began in 2019, which was a year that, didn't appear to be going that well for me, but ended on such a beautiful note. And so in September of 2019, I had already quit my nursing career. I had an online sales business, which was making the same amount of money that I was making in my nursing career. So there was no real growth or increase in income, but I was working from home, so I was much happier. But I was a woman that was insecure. I lacked confidence. I had put a bunch of weight back on and was really, really feeling a lot of shame around that. And I really, really wanted to turn things around. I just could not see how it was possible. It was just one of those things where I wanted something so badly, but just didn't see that it was there right in front of me. And I met a beautiful, beautiful man not very long after that, the universe just put in front of me. I met a woman on a training, took a course, ended up meeting him, and I'm talking about Bob Proctor, and I ended up taking one of his programs, and it changed me. It really did because I did the work. I went through, 4 weeks of working on the concept that I held of myself. He refers to it as self-image. I use the words identity or self-concept, but we're essentially talking about the same thing. But I started to change who I am and what I saw for myself. And my life started to change very quickly.
What was it, that thing inside that you were feeling that you wanted so badly? What was that?
You know, I've always been a woman, I would say, that's been driven. So once I got into university and I started to raise my grades a little bit, I started to see, you know what, I think I could get a really good job one day, maybe get a couple of promotions. And that's when the drive started to show up. And then it just kept showing up and it kept showing up. And this time was a little bit different though, because I think the drive that I held before, Tommy, was this need to prove myself, to be something, because I had felt less than for much of my life.
Yeah.
But when I actually got into studying this material, which we can call it whatever we want, I like to call it manifestation. I truly started to have this burning desire for, first, an extraordinary life for myself and my family, but a burning desire to help other people through this material. And so it was no longer about proving something to anyone, but almost like a calling, like I was chosen to do this, to spread this information, and to help people to have shifts in their own self-concept similar to what I had. And then, of course, the shift in your life that comes from the shift in how you see you.
Yeah. Okay. So what does that all mean? That means you were working on you, and you started to see the possibility that, I don't know, maybe you hadn't even considered this before, of could I actually turn this work that I'm doing on myself and transforming myself into a business where I'm helping other people do that? Because that's what you were seeing do for the people that were helping you were doing that.
Of course. And the thing that's so beautiful is the coach that I had at that time, and also Bob Proctor, you could see people saying to them all the time, this is so amazing. This is changing my life. Look at the differences. And then I became someone that was saying that. And then I had a thought one day, it was about late October, early November in 2019. And I had a thought, I would love to teach this.
Yeah.
I would love to create a business for myself, for my family, doing this and help people to really step into the greatness that is already there. It's already within them. It's like you gave me the cure to cancer and I now wanted to go share it with everyone. That's honestly how I felt.
Wow.
And it was that first thought, what would it be like to study this material for myself, but then help other people to study it as well? And that really excited me.
For sure. I mean, I felt something similar in my journey as well. But my question now is, so when you had that thought, like, did you just march off with that idea right away, or did what happened? Did any resistance come up in your path?
I remember when I spoke to my coach at the time, and I said to her, I think I want to do this. And she said, I can see that. Absolutely. I think you'd be great at it. And then I said, how much is it? To become certified to do this, how much is it? And she said something like 30,000 US, which is like 42,000 Canadian dollars. And I went, oh no. And it was almost like my dreams were shattered right there. Like I was so excited to have to do this, and then it was like, no. Okay, not today. I remember that thought, not today. Like, I don't have that kind of money. Like, are you kidding me? And I went home almost feeling a little bit deflated about it, if I'm being totally honest. But I did this really interesting thing as I started going online and I started watching videos of other coaches in the industry, and I started paying attention to people that were achieving success. So I took that resistance, the fear, the doubt, the worry that I might not be able to do it, and I started filling my mind with possibility. So I started seeing this person that had achieved and this person, and there wasn't that many. And they were achieving it in a different way than I necessarily would have wanted to, which we're going to talk about. But there was. So I looked for the evidence, even if it was few and far between.
Yeah.
And I found it. And that just allowed me to go back into the realm of the possible instead of the impossible. Yeah.
And when you were doing that, did you find that, like, was that helping you to kind of build your own, sort of belief that you could do this? Like, I mean, I just know, because even for myself, when I kind of, started to head down this path too, there was thoughts of, well, who am I? Like, I'm not qualified to do this. Who am I to say I'm the one that's going to be able to make a difference in someone's life or be significant? Like, how did you navigate that?
Totally. Absolutely. It's this thing, right? Where we have these beliefs about ourselves, these insecurities. We lack self-esteem. We lack confidence. That it makes us feel like we don't have the tools, we don't have the knowledge, we don't have the experience, we're too young, we're too old, we don't look the part. The look the part thing was huge for me because every single success coach that I found online was completely fit. They went to the gym every day and they were talking about their idea of success, which included something that didn't necessarily resonate with me. And I had gotten to a point where I had done a lot of work on myself to make myself be more confident. And so the resistance that I felt was more about how much it was going to cost. Would people actually want to work with me? Things like that. But I knew that the answers were within. So it was about going within to say, is this really true? As I grew in my awareness, I more and more wanted to be individual and I wanted to be unique. And I wanted to be me. And so, we have the YouTube video about tapping into your superpower. So for me, I became somebody that was an average, normal, everyday woman, relatable, that people wanted to work with because they could see themselves in me. And that became my superpower, was that I'm not just like every other coach out there. I have something different. And so I started with that feeling for myself right away, although I still had paradigms. You'll hear a little bit more today.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. So let's back up for a quick second. So then you must have raised the money, the 42,000, to become, the coach that, to join the program you wanted to join to do that. How did you do that?
Yeah.
And was that an easy process? Did you have to convince anybody that was going to be worth it?
Oh, of course, of course. Yeah, yeah. I remember when I said to my husband, okay, I want to do this. I want to create a career out of this. I want to teach this content. He wasn't surprised because I fell in love with it and I love to study and work on myself. And when I told him, he said, okay, how much is it? And I said, and told him the amount. And then he went, okay, so maybe at the end of next year, like we'll save up the money at the end of next year. And like, that was my first thought too. But I went back and I looked at the success stories and I went back and looked at, what is possible. And I kind of mapped out this whole thing. It was like, well, if I make $300,000 next year, it's $255,000 more than the cost for the certification for the program. I'm still ahead $250,000. But if I don't and we wait a year, we've lost $250,000 that I could make this year. Like, it was a sign of just what I had built my belief about. But the key is that I then acted on it. So I remember he came back to me later and he said, I think I have an idea of where we could get the money from. And I was like, really? Tell me. Because he heard me talk about what I wanted to do and he heard me talk with confidence. He felt the vibrational equivalent to the desire, but the belief that I wanted it. And he was attracted to the idea as well. And so he said, I think we can do X, Y, Z. And we looked at some investments, RSPs, all that kind of stuff. And we ended up being able to do it. You know, it was the tail end of the year. So because it was 2 different years, 2 different investment portfolios. Anyways, we were able to do it, but it took all of our money and it also put us into debt. So I'll just say that. I mean, it wasn't like we just found money. Like we went into debt to do this.
Yeah, it was a stretch. You were leveraging the universe a little bit.
Very much. Very much.
Which is cool that we have tools to do that. So you dove in completely. How long did it take you to see results?
So I went to a training the beginning of December, and the training was a little bit defeating because it was in person in a conference room and there was only about 30 people there. And I had this idea in my mind that I was going to build a successful coaching business. I was going to make $300,000 and I was going to do it online on social media because I had an online business. And I was going to use attraction marketing, curiosity marketing. I was going to do some branding. I was going to build an influence and I was going to do this thing. And there was somebody in that training that was doing the training that told me that I was not going to be able to do it, that it was unrealistic, that I was going to need to meet people in person and have in-house party things and rent out conference halls and like all these things. And I just thought, well, that feels like a lot of work. And I remember at the end, and I don't know if anybody's watching this that was in that room,
it might be
fun for you to hear this because I don't think I've said this out loud, but we all actually had to get up and say our goals at the end. We had to stand up and say what we were going to do and how we were going to do it, what the strategies were that we were going to use. And the strategies that we were being taught was like, go to an event and network, join a BNI, go to live events, have a live event, have all your friends over at your house. These were the strategies. And everybody went through and I was like last. I think I might've been second last. And everybody's goals were interesting. But my goal, I stood up there and I said, okay, so my goal for the next 3 months, January, February, March, is that I'm going to make $50,000 per month in my coaching business. And it's all going to be completely online. And I had already been told I couldn't do that. So
was it like crickets?
Everybody was like, okay. And I did it. So you can imagine just how much fun that was for me. To go out and do that thing. But I ended up waiting until Christmas was over, which looking back, there was no need to do that. But I did wait until Christmas was over. I launched my business the very, very, very beginning of January.
Of 2020.
Of 2020. Yeah. And I had a $65,000 month that month.
Wow.
Yeah.
First month, right out the gate.
Yeah.
Well, and the timing was I mean, rather divine for you, because then what happened? The world shut down.
February, the world shut down.
Yeah. So like the models they were telling you to use were all of a sudden out the window.
Completely obsolete. So all other coaches in the industry that I was in were all canceling all of their live events. They were no longer being able to go and network, and they were all wondering how to do it online. And here I was doing it. And so it got a lot of attention. It also really, really had people ask the question, okay, how can I pivot my business? Now, at that time, there was a lot of people saying now's not the time to coach. Now's not the time to sell courses, programs, and coaching because the world is shutting down. People are losing their jobs. There's nobody's going to hire coaches. But something very interesting happened, didn't it? There is a lot of incredible knowledge in this world that talks about the reason why people achieve success and the reason why people don't achieve success. And if you understand those success principles, and if you live according to those success principles, you are the group of people who thrive during economic times that aren't the best. And so some of the most successful people in the world achieved their success during like the Depression, during COVID, like myself. And now there's talks of another recession. And I think to myself, well, this is just another opportunity for me to be one of the ones that rises up and thrives, isn't it? To be one of the ones that has the success story. And so that's what people were drawn to, was that I was still talking about possibility and not doom and gloom. I was not talking about limitation. I wasn't talking about fear and things to worry about. I was talking about, okay, now we need to build the spiritual connection, the mindset, and the activity now today that's going to help us thrive. And my clients were thriving in their businesses, especially online, and just soaring and so confident. And I remember I had one client reach out to me and say, my gosh, my business is just absolutely booming. And everybody else is over here like their sales are plummeting. Like, what's going on? I'm like, because you have the secret.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no secret at all.
Yeah. Well, it was so interesting what happened, right? Because when everything shut down and we kind of thought, well, is this industry over? Like, because we can't do, we can't do events anymore, whatever. But what was interesting is, since everyone was at home, everyone was like, all of a sudden kind of had some more time and everyone started soul searching. I don't care who you are, what you're in, everyone soul searched during COVID. I think it started like a wave of like, that's just kind of, people are now, not happy with status quo, not happy with their lives the way they were. And so now everyone's like going, well, what's more for me? What do I want to really do with my life? I don't really want to go back to work in the traditional way before. So what was cool is it opened up this possibility, these opportunities for conversations, for coaching to even increase because everyone wanted to get some help and some guidance, right?
Yeah. And you could go the unproductive route and you could really just pay attention to the news and wait it out and let your life just pause until we were let back out again. But the important thing is to move your mind into the realm of creation and move your mind into things that allow you to be stimulated and be activated and have you thinking and growing. And so people that started to study with me, they kept themselves alive through the active use of their own thinking. And it was really powerful.
Yeah. I mean, so you've already kind of answered this, but at what point into your, launch of this did you feel like, ooh, I think I've got something really special here?
I would say that it was probably 2 to 3 months into it. Like once COVID, once we were all shut down in COVID and the numbers of attendees on all of my trainings started to really go up, I started realizing that the attraction that I was sending out, the vibration that I was in was working. And not only were people coming to watch my trainings and students enrolling for my programs, but I also had the coaching industry watching me. And I had other coaches in the same areas that I was coaching within in the same organization, but also in other organizations, Tony Robbins coaches, John Maxwell coaches, from everywhere were starting to come and being like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Tell me the how,
Yeah. What did you see kind of going on that was in the industry that was sort of reflecting in all these kind of former kind of old model businesses that wasn't reflecting in yours as much?
Well, there was a lot of people that were experiencing a lot of lulls in their business. There was a lot of coaches that weren't growing and expanding, but their businesses were staying the same or starting to decline. And they
Hmm.
were seeking to know what to do in the situation and how to achieve what I was achieving. And they really started to understand that it was a lot of it had to do with their own thinking, but they were really, really drawn to my strategies,
Hmm.
and I remember teaching. I did a training on my strategy, and I had 500 coaches on that training.
Yeah.
And they had an opportunity to apprentice with me. And we had hundreds of people want to come and do an apprenticeship with me. And when those apprentices joined my team, one thing was very evident. It wasn't about strategy, and it never was. It was about their thinking. It was about the vibration that they were in, the feelings that they were holding, the concepts that they held of themselves, their identity, their confidence. That was the key. So we ended up doing work on that more than the strategy
Yeah.
side. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you also even trained Bob Proctor's whole company how to do it, your strategy.
I did. I did. I remember that. I remember being on a call with Bob one day, and he said, "Tell me what you're doing. I want to know." And he was taking notes while we were talking on the phone. I was telling him all the things that I was doing, and then one day I got a call saying, "Can you come and talk? We're gonna try this out. We're gonna do what you're doing. Can you come on and teach my sales team?" And I said, "Of course." And I went on and I taught the sales team. I even had a call with Bob's wife. She even called me about how she could use some of what I was doing in her business. Which was really fun. And I helped train the sales team. They actually even used some of the names to call their team members. So my team used to be Success Advisors. And now you'll know that they're Success Advisors. If anybody's called into Bob Proctor's organization, they have Success Advisors there now. That was something that I created, which was really fun. So it was a very, very busy time for me. But it was also a time for me to express a lot of energy, to help a lot of people, to give a lot of value. But I really, really realized in that moment that there was something that I was doing, there was something I was tapping into that was different than these other 2,000 consultants were doing and coaches were doing, that had me elevating up out of the masses.
Yeah. So let's talk about that a little bit more. So kind of what we've seen sort of in the coaching world in the recent years, like what's been working versus what's not been working. What did you notice?
Well, traditionally in the coaching industry, there's been a lot of in-person stuff, a
Yep.
lot of networking, a lot of live events, conferences, things like that. And there was a move towards more webinar style. So, where you could watch a webinar and it was like an hour long, and then you would be moved down a sales process. But what's really unique about me, and Tommy, you are like an absolute major part of this now, is our ability to express live energy
Hmm.
on Zoom. And what I found was the more that I expressed my energy when my energy was at its best, and I mean the most confident, the most happy, excited, joyful, when my assumptions were really, really great, it caused a ripple effect. And that's very different than a planned conference and selling people into coming to see you in person and going and networking and giving out your business cards and things like that. It became where my social media, my Facebook and my Instagram, because I was not on TikTok then or YouTube, my Facebook and my Instagram became a place where people could come and see me and meet me anytime, and not just at a live event in a conference room. And so it was almost like, instead of taking 3 steps to get somewhere, it was 1 step.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally. And what did you notice too, as far as like, so you had all these people, all these coaches coming to you, wanting to learn how you're doing it, wanting to know your strategy, but you're noticing that energetically they're kind of not where they need to be. They're not embodying it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, this has only reinforced what I know to be true, and what many of the traditional teachers in this content, in this material, teach, is that it's not about what you do, it's about who you are when you do it. and it's not about what you do, but how you feel about what you do.
Just say that again.
What did I say?
It's not about what you do. It's about who you are when you do it. Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh man. Sometimes I say things and I'm like, whatever.
Casey, if you're listening, write that one down.
Yeah. It's really powerful because honestly, Tommy, there is a lot of coaches out in this industry that know a lot of things, and they have a lot of experience, and they can really guide you on a call to have a change in your life, but they can't grow their own business. And the reason for that is because they aren't the embodiment of what it is that they teach. They have a conscious understanding. It might even go into the subconscious where they could automatically teach this. I have a lot of people that'll be on my calls and they know what I know, but they haven't embodied it in the same way that I have. I have truly understood how to move my body in relation to what I'm thinking and feeling and being aware and things like that. And so it is the embodiment of it, Tommy, honestly. And that's why it is so pivotal and so important for you to first be in the spirit before you are in the mechanical. It is important to be in the feminine energetics before you are in the masculine. And it's a balance of it all. It absolutely is.
Yeah.
But it's learning that balance.
Let's break this down to make it just real clear for anybody who's like not up to speed with our jargon here. So she said, it's not about what you do. It's about who you are when you do it. So it's about the embodiment of that person that you want to be.
It's about your consciousness. It's about all of your beliefs and what those beliefs mean. It's your self-concept, so how you see yourself. If you are a coach that wants to make a big impact in this world, you want to make a significant difference in people's lives, you have to be worthy of that. You have to know that that is what you are being called to do. How do you know you're being called? Because you want to do it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not like somebody taps you on the shoulder and says, here's your card of what you're supposed to do while you're in this body, in this iteration of your physical life. It comes through you. It comes like a pulse, like a thought, like a nudge, like an energy, like a desire. So, in September of 2019, when I started studying this material and I started to pay attention to the nudges of, ooh, I would love to do this, suddenly I started to be like, yes, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is my next stop. I see this all the time. People reach out to me. And of course, Tommy, one of the biggest things that I have found since I started this business is that people want to do it too. They're like, oh, what do you do? I want to do it. But they message me and they say, I'm a nurse, I'm a teacher, I'm a real estate agent. I am a stylist, but I want to do what you do and I want to switch to it. And I'm like, well, of course you're drawn to me because I just did that.
Yeah.
So you want to be guided by somebody that just did that. But the next thing is I don't know that I'm ready. I don't know that I'm confident enough. I don't know that I know enough,
Yeah.
And that's where I come in. I come in to make it easier for you to do it faster and to do it in a beautiful way.
And we've already touched on this, but what we see a lot of people do is they run out and they have this beautiful strategy, a mile thick of exactly A, B, C, D, E, F, G, how they're gonna do it. And you can have a beautiful plan like that. But it's not about what you do, it's about who you are when you do it. So the most perfect aligned strategy with your values and your talents is meaningless without what behind it. Yeah.
Honestly, without being a vibrational match to that which you want to express. So if you want to express the version of you that has $100,000 a month business, then you have to vibrationally be matching the equivalent of that. So you can't have thoughts that are telling you that you can't be focused on the problem. The other really interesting thing about this too is that many people will go out and before they even try to get clients will have a website and they'll hire somebody to do graphic design and they have these beautiful logos. And you may actually look at some of their stuff on social media and think, well, they must be a really freaking successful coach because look at how professional everything looks. Haven't signed a single client. Why not? Because it's not about what you do. So I didn't have a website when I had my first $65,000 month. I didn't have branding. I didn't even have like a company name or anything. I was Kathleen Cameron. You know, Diamond Academy actually came to me in February, which was 2 months later.
Yeah.
So it's really important that the first thing that you do is understand who you are, where you are at, and then to start to operate from where you want to go.
Yeah. Oh, so good. Okay. I hope you guys watching are like taking notes because this is like brilliant. Okay. So let's kind of get back to the story here. So what happened next? So you were, you know, started your business, took off with a bang, brilliant strategy backed by powerful, empowered spirit mindset. And you're, you know, you're selling a course that you were, you know, that you had licensed, right, to do with the program. So kind of what was happening next? You were seeing people were coming to you wanting your help. So you're like, maybe there's a way I can help these people in like a more official way. So what was born?
So that was the birth of my first coach program. So it was a coaching certification program. And it was actually built out of the need because people were constantly coming to me and saying, I want to be a coach and I want you to teach me how. And so I built this coaching certification. And so certification means what? That you've done a certain amount of work or study, or you've had a certain level of success or practice hours, whatever. And you get this nice little piece of paper at the end saying you're a certified coach, like certified mindset coach or whatever, right? So we did certified Diamond Academy success coach.
Which sort of makes sense too with your background, that you would be like thinking, you know, oh, I'm going to certify people because you were all about certifications in your old life.
Of course, I have 3 degrees. I have a master's degree, and then I have like another 10 certifications in the healthcare industry. And then even when I became a coach, I signed up for a certification. That's what I needed.
What is the certification in the coaching industry?
Good question, right? So, good question. The one that I did was you became certified for the ability to license somebody else's program. It wasn't actually teaching you any coaching modalities or leadership. So it's just interesting. So I built a program that I felt filled all the gaps for people. Allowed people to come in, get a certification, get some mindset work, get some leadership work, some coaching modality work, and of course the business side. And that course was created at a time in my life where I still believed much of that paradigm. I still believed that you needed this and that. I even signed up to get my NLP certification that year.
Right.
I had a couple other coaches in the industry that were doing it, and I thought, oh, this will be great on my resume. It'll say certified in neuro-linguistic programming and hypnotherapy. And I thought, oh, that's really great. I'm going to get certified. This will make me more credible. This will make people want to work with me more because I have these letters next to my name. And I signed up for it, and I did 1 day of it, and I knew in that day, no way, I'm not doing this. And I didn't do it. I didn't finish. Because I realized in that moment that it wasn't the certificates. It wasn't a signature on a piece of paper that had me do what I've done. It was all in my own beliefs, my own consciousness, the way that I vibrate. And it didn't make a difference whether or not I was certified. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
I never even completed my certification over there until I received gold pin and made millions of dollars.
I know. Oh my God, that was so true.
I remember they called me and they're like, Kathleen, you
need to get certified.
You had 9 months to be certified. You haven't done it yet, although you've made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So you got to get this done. And I like finished it up in like 24 hours and submitted. Yeah. But like, I've never said anywhere that I'm a certified coach or anything. Like it doesn't mean anything anymore.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah.
Well, and the truth is, you know, any type of like certification thing you go for anywhere, that's not bad. Like you're going to gather some knowledge, you're going to learn some beautiful information. But at the end of the day, the problem is that people then rely on this piece of paper, this certification, and they build their like foundation of confidence behind this thing that essentially is kind of meaningless.
Yes.
Versus creating their confidence in what?
Themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, the certification becomes the thing that says that you're worthy, that you're credible, that you're
totally
reputable, right? And it's like, no, like the universe responds to how you feel about you, and you don't need a certificate.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, people weren't coming to me to be certified anyways. They were coming to me to change their lives, to live the life of their dream, to make a bigger impact on the world. And the certification became a distraction.
Yeah. So you have been running that program for about a year?
Two.
Oh, the certification.
2 years in November.
Okay, cool. So had some great success there. Talk about that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have had the most incredible graduation ceremonies and friendships and people launching their businesses and growing their businesses. Lots of incredible success. And coaches that didn't take my certification that have reached out to me and followed some of my guidance have achieved incredible things. But in a shift in me comes a shift in the programs that I offer and the things that I teach. And I don't want to continue to teach old information based on old models. And that, even saying that to you right now, that's where the Millionaire Program came. I didn't sell it right away. I continued to sell an old program.
What's that?
Millionaire Program is a personal growth and development program that we have that is for everyone, not just for coaches, but for anyone in this world. So I do not just coach coaches. I want to really preface that because that is very prevalent in this industry. There is a lot of coaches out there that are just coaching other coaches who then coach other coaches. I want to help everyone.
So the Millionaire Program was something that you started to gestate or sort of birth around the time that you started the coaching certification program as a replacement for the program that you were licensing from Bob's company.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I was really comfortable, Tommy. The environment that I was in over there was very good for my ego. They put me on a pedestal. They made me feel really good. I had a lot of people message me and reach out to me. You're doing such an amazing job. The environment around me was saying, this feels good. You should stay here. But what was really coming through me, and now I know it wasn't just me, it wasn't just my desire to have my own content. It was actually spirit speaking through me saying that you need to be you, Kathleen, and you need to teach this material in a way that is new, that is modern, that is feminine, that is full of spirit, that is full of joy and full of ease and love. And you need to take this content and this material and you need to bring it forward in the way that it needs to be heard now for today. And the more I stayed over there, the less in alignment with that calling was. Mm-hmm. And so it took me some time to go. It took me some time to start to move into my own thing. But in September of 2021 was when I finally said, no, that's it. And we launched Millionaire, and it was our biggest enrollment month that we have had for number of new students, was that month that we first launched Millionaire.
Wow. Yeah. Well, and kind of what happened there a little bit. So, you dove into the coaching business by going through, this program, Bob's program, that in the beginning was helpful, was empowering, was give you like a platform to launch, but it didn't take long because you were moving so fast that what was at once supporting was now feeling limiting.
Yes.
So you were like, I need to be standing on my own self,
yes.
My own like 2 feet,
totally.
Building my brand, not someone else's brand, and
yes.
delivering your message to the world the way that it is being transmitted through you, right?
And I wasn't necessarily acting in integrity in terms of my own consciousness and how I felt, because to say that one program created that much success for me in my life wouldn't be completely accurate, because I only studied that program for a short amount of time and didn't even finish it. And
She didn't finish it.
I know, I didn't finish it. Anyway, I've never admitted that publicly, but yes, I did not finish it. I only got to lesson 7. But I started studying more. I started going deeper. I started to expand and grow, and I started to just add on, the expansion. And so what I love so much about the Millionaire Program is that it is truly, I know we're not really here to talk about that program, but it is truly a culmination of everything that I learned in order to get myself to that multi-million-dollar place in my life. And then now I'm able to teach all the things that I learned today, now, live with my students. But that's where this new program that we're going to talk about today, the coach program evolved into this new one because of the same types of things, the same growth in me, the same awareness, and my wanting to really, really help people to see that they don't need to build somebody else's brand. They don't need to sell somebody else's course. They don't need to be certified somewhere else. They just need to accept that they are here to teach this content in their unique way.
Yeah. So good. Okay. So catching up to speed with where we are now. So you've stepped into this next level, this more powerful new place with retiring the Diamond Academy coach certification. And we have just released what?
Modern Mentor.
All right, let's talk about it.
I really wanted to use the language of mentor instead of coach because mentorship to me is above and beyond the ability to coach someone to take action. Mentorship to me is helping somebody to actually embody what it means to be a highly successful, impactful, transformative coach in the industry. And so you can call yourself a coach, you can call yourself a mentor, you can call yourself a consultant. Like, it doesn't matter the title that you give yourself, but the role that you are taking on is far more than coaching someone. It is mentorship.
Yeah.
And so that's why I've changed it now to mentor. Now the word modern comes in because this is where we are modernizing old information. We are modernizing old strategies. We are modernizing this industry. Mm-hmm. You even heard that in my story about the 500 people coming on the training and Bob Proctor's organization wanting me to come on. It's because they were wanting to modernize. They were being attracted to that. So I'm always modernizing. I'm always shifting. So the strategy that I used for my business at the beginning of 2020, I don't use it anymore. So people come to me and they're like, well, what was that strategy that you were using? And I'm like, sure, go ahead and use it. Yeah. But it's not about the strategy. Yeah. It's about you and what you're in alignment with, and then take aligned action in the way that feels good for you.
And when you say modernizing old information, by old, you don't mean bad. You're talking about timeless truth of the universe.
Gold? Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. Like, information from the late 1800s, early 1900s is some of the most profound information and knowledge that you will absolutely change your own life by studying it. But the problem is that it was taught by people in mechanical energy, in masculine energy.
Yeah. And in a time where it doesn't read like it applies in today's world. Yeah.
No, and so that's why it's so important to study it, but it's so important to have somebody to be able to interpret it for you into the modern age, into today, and help you to actually see how it's still applicable, but just looks different. That's it.
Yeah. Well, and I'll just say too, the name of this program, The Modern Mentor, what's so perfect about it too is because that's literally what Kathleen is. She is the most modern mentor that I'm aware of. And she's on the leading cutting edge all the time. It's always on what's next. You don't sit in a model for long before you're like keeping it up to speed with what is working currently. Like, where are people's, where's the psychology at? Where are people at? Where's the energy at?
Yeah. And I think we're really, really moving into a place now, and I feel it in myself and I see it, where it's not about having perfectly curated social media and pictures. It's not about tapping into how much money you're necessarily making, but it's really, really tapping into who you are as an individual, expressing yourself fully, loving yourself for who you are, showing the messy house, showing the kids in the photos, showing your real life and how you're able to create that. Yeah. It's relatability. Yeah. And this is why so many influencers...
Authenticity.
Yes. And this is why influencer marketing is so incredibly powerful. And this is why social media can be such a beautiful tool for you, is because people fall in love with you, the real person that you are, living your everyday life.
Yeah.
And that's something that I teach, is how to build a brand around you, your individuality, your uniqueness, and setting yourself apart.
So how is Modern Mentor different from our former Diamond Academy certification coach program and like the other models that are out there?
So what I found was happening with the coach certification program that we had before was that it became a place for people who all wanted mechanical and strategic knowledge to come together and ask for it. And then it became very strategic and very mechanical. And so we were talking about strategies and how do I do this in the business, this and that. And that stuff is all necessary, but there is so much more that is needed. You know, success is 99% consciousness and 1% strategy. You know, that's something that Robert Russell talks about. And I truly believe that to be true. And so what that means is that the program should not be all about strategy. And if you are somebody that is a mindset or manifestation coach and all the courses you're taking are on strategy, I would have you just take a little step back and ask yourself why that is. Are you practicing what you teach? I'm not so sure.
Because remember, it's not what you do, it's who you are when you do it.
I believe every single strategy that I use will work. Anything.
Say it again.
I believe every single strategy that I do will work.
Okay, do you guys hear that? Like, it doesn't matter the strategy. It's her belief about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Take note.
So huge. Yeah. So huge. So I had this like epiphany one day. It was like, okay, what is it that is needed here? You know, and the information just started coming through me. And it was like, what people need is a manifestation course that is specifically designed for business, because manifestation is all things. It's manifesting a good life, a good relationship, manifesting your health, more money, business, like all the things. But what people really, really need is a manifestation course that helps you with business. So this is why we put Manifestation X Business. Manifestation meets business. This is a program. 8 live taught lessons that teach you about how to embody, how to be, and then the business side, how to do. Now, when I talk about the do, if any of you are watching or in any of my programs right now, you know that I will not sit here and tell you to do this, and coach you in that strategic business sense. I will ask you, okay, before we talk about what I think you should do, tell me what you think about it first. Tell me how you feel. Tell me your self-concept first. Then you're guided intuitively in what action you should take. So if you're looking for somebody to tell you the 10 steps to do to build your business right now, I would encourage you to just get rid of that, let that go, surrender, and know that as you tap into that version of you that has all the success that you desire, that intuitively you will know what to do. Trust me. Yeah.
How important do you think it's going to be moving forward for coaches, people who want to become coaches, new coaches, old coaches, to stand kind of on their own and shine their own light?
Yeah. You know, sometimes I think that we take way more steps than we need to into the realization of what we truly desire. And there is simplicity. And so if the end result is for you to create your own offers, your own programs, teach the material in your own way, why go and do it in another way first? You really truly desire to be unique. It's one of the 7 levels of awareness, is to no longer be like the masses and to ascend into the worthiness and the value and the power that is within yourself. And so this program you're not going to license my course. You're not going to become a part of Diamond Academy. I'm not going to tell you how you need to teach this. I'm going to
promote you.
No, I don't want you to promote me either. I want you to promote you. And this is the biggest thing, is that I want you to really, really tap into who you are, get all that power in there working, get that faith working, that belief working, that, mentor yourself first. And then you will build a wildly successful business. And what we really want to do is we want to help you to see that in order to get to $100,000 a month, you have to have a $10,000 a month first. And so our goal is to have people come into this program and have $10,000 months, get them going so you can ascend to the next, to the next, to the next. And so, if you come in, you're already having $50,000 months. Well, hey, we'll just get you to 100 real quick. We'll get you to 200, 500 real quick. I have people that want to do $1 million months like I am. And I absolutely know that it's already done, but they need to know that. So that's why they come to work with me. Yeah.
How did you develop this into this repeatable process that you're teaching? Like, how did you get so good at not only doing this for yourself, but helping other people to do it for them?
It has a lot to do with persistence and consistency, and really, really believing that everything that I do works, and practicing it and sticking to it. So I am not somebody that changes my mind all the time and switches things and does things different and have squirrel moments. I'm truly, truly nurturing like my belief in myself, and then helping to nurture that into others, and allow yourself to let and surrender. And that's where the effortless way happens. This is where you accelerate yourself. This is where you're more efficient. And I love it. I love what I do, Tommy. And it's so much fun. It's so incredible. The impact that we make is so incredibly powerful. And believing that you're good at it, believing that I am good at it has really, really served me well. And, that's one of the beliefs that we're really going to foster in this program is the modern mentor is someone who believes in themselves, who has faith, that embodies everything that we teach here. And you might not be a manifestation coach. You might be a health coach. You might be a business coach. But what I'm going to teach you is how to embody the successful coach identity now to help you grow your business. Because when you grow your business, the impact that you have on this world is greater.
What if I'm not even a coach yet?
Oh my gosh, then this is so good for you too. Because this is the ability for you to do something scary. Yes, starting a new business is scary. I'm not going to tell you that it's not. It absolutely is. And there is a pivotal moment where you're going to have to let go of the old and step into the new. But wouldn't it be so lovely to do that in a supportive environment by, alongside a woman who did it for herself and did it in a really big way, and to feel supported, a place to ask questions. We have a facilitator of the program, Deb, that's there to support everybody, and mentorship, coaching is really, really there to help you achieve what you want to achieve faster and with greater ease. And so it means that the journey is going to be more fun. Totally. And you might take 5 years before you launch that business, but you sign up for Modern Mentor with me, you'll be launching it before the end of 2022.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Modern Mentor is sort of the culmination, the evolution of all these concepts and ideas and embodiment that you've been teaching people since you began. That keeps evolving and transforming to the next level. So you've already been teaching people what we're teaching people in Modern Mentor. How has it been working for people you've been teaching this to?
Oh my gosh. Okay. You're going to start to see a shift, because I've recognized something in myself recently. I have thousands and thousands of messages, testimonials, screenshots of all of the success that people have received in my energy. For whatever reason, I am not the best at sharing it publicly. I love them. I save every single one of them. I respond to them. They have helped me in times when I really, really needed it, but I'm not very good at sharing and expressing that. I don't know what that is. I think it's something for me to work on. I know, absolutely. But you're going to start to see more of it, because the way people are transforming, the way people are winning in our energy, it actually really brings tears to my eyes. I now have built this thing where everyone around me is growing and expanding and winning and achieving. And so when I enter into environments where people aren't, it's kind of like, oh my gosh, what's happening here? I want to help, because I'm just surrounded by it. I'm absolutely surrounded by it. And I know that it's priceless what we do here. It's absolutely priceless. So you'll start to see more of that as I figure out how I can share it in such an authentic, genuine way. Yeah. But just know that this has been life-changing for me, and it's been life-changing for anybody that comes into this.
Well, while you wait with bated breath to see some of these stories rolling out, I mean, just for example, what are some things people have shared with you? Like, have incomes changed?
Oh, yes. Oh my gosh. We have people that have 10x, 20x their income. We have
Wow.
people that have manifested money from places that they never thought they would manifest. We have people leaving careers, traditional careers like teaching, nursing, real estate to create successful coaching businesses. We have people truly stepping into their potential. We have people that are curing physical diseases and ailments through this material.
Hmm.
It's really, really incredible and life changing. Um, yeah, we'll leave it at that.
Okay, beautiful. Well, okay, so let's talk a little bit more about Modern Mentor then, kind of specifically. So, like, give me the deets. Like, what can people expect? What's
Yeah.
this journey going to be like?
So, Modern Mentor is a 16-week program that will be taught live. So, the first program is actually August 8th, which is Monday morning at 11 o'clock. And I'm going to teach 8 manifestation lessons in a row for 8 weeks, and then 8 business lessons for 8 weeks. The business lessons are still manifestation, but there's specifics about your offer, the buyer, how to sell, how to set up your landing pages, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, your launch strategy, everything like that. Um, and then it's also going to be a weekly call with a facilitator within the program as well. So it's actually 2 calls per week to help to support you, to guide you. We want you to launch after a certain amount of time. We want to help you with your launches. We want to know how you're doing. We want to support you. And it truly is a place for coaches to come together to mastermind with one another. It's very, very important. And what this teaches you too is collaboration over competition. You know, when you have a friendship and you have a mastermind group of other coaches, it's so impactful in your business when you help each other to grow and expand and help each other to tap into your uniqueness. One of the most important things that will be in this program will be how to use the law of attraction for yourself on social media. So understanding that when you post to social media, it's not what you say in the post, but how you felt when you wrote the post that determines the success that you will have in the
There it is
influence.
again.
Yeah. So this is really key. This is why nobody else writes my posts for me, because
Ah,
it's their energy writing the post. So it's huge. And you know, the amount of success that I've had in this area organically is really, really
oh
powerful. So
yeah.
we're gonna talk about all those things. And listen, I am truly, truly committed to helping people to grow the business of their dreams, not to grow my business, not to do what I've done, not to replicate me, but to be unique and create a legacy for you, to be a pioneer, to be a trailblazer, to be a legend in your own life. And I can help you to tap into that. I just had a phone call with somebody last week, and they were telling me a whole bunch of things about their business and what they want to do. And I said, what makes you different? What makes you unique? What makes you stand out? And over the course of that conversation, I was able to guide them to see just what makes them so special, just what makes them so different. And bam,
Wow.
self-image change, just like that.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so paint the picture for me. What outcomes do you see for for coaches that, are existing coaches who are coming through here to up level, or people who are stepping into becoming a coach? What are you seeing for them?
I truly see, first of all, a shift in their ability to connect to their oneness and to enter into the spirit of their business. And so if it's a relaunch or you're starting brand new, the energy that you are in is the most important part. And so we want you to understand and to realize and to be connected to Spirit Source Universe and see that there is help for you along the way. You are always guided towards what you want. Then I truly believe and expect that everyone will have transformations when it comes intellectually and in their consciousness, and some new subconscious programming to help you to really set yourself forward. And then for you to have that transformation impact your physical life. So you don't just feel different, but you see different things entering into your life, and your experience be something completely different and completely profound. Mm-hmm. And my assumption going into this is that you're going to take this program and you're going to thrive and you're going to grow, and you're going to be like, what's next for me with you, Kathleen? You're not going to want to go anywhere because we've supported you so much and allowed you to grow and expand. And then we're just going to create something next for you when you need it.
Yeah. I almost see this as like a spiritual like incubator or like womb that we're inviting people to come in to like
absolutely.
come in here, and we're just going to wrap you in our energy and nourish you and allow you to be reborn into your next new life or your next level of your coaching business.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
I mean, kind of what we're doing here too is we're also kind of defining or redefining what it actually means to be a coach. Like, what are coaches actually for?
For guidance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. I think sometimes the energy that we go into coaching too determines the outcome. So if we go into coaching thinking that we need to be fixed and we need somebody to fix us, it really, really doesn't allow you to have a transformation. So, going into any coaching program, it's about, I can't wait to do the work so that I can change my own life.
Yeah.
And this is part of why I think with sharing testimonials publicly for me is a little bit of a challenge, because when people say to me, Kathleen, you changed my life, I say, no, you changed your own life. I was just a guide here to help you see that. That's it. And so it's really, really special. And I don't take it for granted. Everybody that's already enrolled, I just want to say congratulations. I mean, we're so excited. Orientation was amazing. And I can't wait for Monday's call.
Yeah, that was my next question. Like, so for anyone's listening to this who's thinking, okay, this sounds like a good idea for them, why would it be important to kind of act like right now, like in the next day or two?
Well, we have the first lesson being taught Monday morning, which is August the 8th. Yeah. And it's the art of ascension, the art of expansion. That's going to be my first lesson, which is I'm so excited to teach on. Haven't taught on this concept before, so it's the first time. But also, there is a cost to waiting. I gave you the example about how I was going to make $300,000 in my business, but then I was going to wait to start my business for a year from now, and I would have lost that 300. Well, guess what? That year was 3.3 million, not 300. So I would have been out that 3.3 million. The other piece too that I will say is that now is the time for you to take action, because the world is changing. There is a major, major shift in the coaching industry, but also in the economy. And it is a time for you to thrive through it, and not to get scared, not to get afraid, but actually to be there to support people and help them and allow them to become their best versions. We can be part of the change and the shift of the global consciousness right now, if you choose to be. But if you don't choose to be, if you have that call within you to be a coach and you don't listen to it and you ignore it, you're actually part of the shift in the global consciousness in the opposite direction.
Yeah. 100%. So, I mean, for anyone's listening who's thinking like, well, do I, how long, what's the time commitment here? Like, do I have time to do this? All those other little voices that kind of, start to chirp at us and stop us from doing things. What would you say to them?
I would honestly say that you don't think you have time because you think you're busy. And you're not busy. You're just using your time. You're filling it up with a whole bunch of other things. And so it's important to see that all you need to do is shift the time, pull yourself out 30 minutes from somewhere else, and use it in a more productive way, and it will absolutely change your life. Now, the time commitment itself is 2 live calls a week. Mine is an absolute must. Deb's call, I would highly, highly recommend, but if you really can't do it, mine is the most important. And then time to answer the questions and to do the work, because it doesn't just happen on a call. It's what you do after the call that makes a difference. So it's absolutely manageable. It's absolutely doable, especially if you do have another career, if you have another full-time job, you can do it on your lunch break.
Yeah. And why do we want, so we're Kathleen's feeling very called. We've been planning this for months, and it was a question of, okay, are we going to pre-record this course and release it as modules, or are we going to teach it live? And Kathleen was very called to teach it live. It probably will continue to even be taught live after the first class. So another reason we want you to, act quickly if you're watching this is because it does start Monday and it is live. You can of course catch up, nothing wrong with that at all. But talk about the live energy.
Live energy is so different. When you watch a recorded call by yourself in your home, you pause it, you get distracted, you're not focused, you're not in the spirit. It might take you a week to watch a live video, and you don't feel the energy coming through the Zoom. You don't feel the energetic equivalent. And when you're on live, you're engaged, you're listening, you're commenting in the chat, you're asking questions, you're listening, you're taking notes. You're feeling the energy that I'm in. You're also feeling the energy of all the people that are on the call as well. And so what a live call does for you energetically and what it does for your point of attraction is incredibly powerful. Yeah. So it becomes this thing, every Monday you get into the energy for the week, then the next Monday for the week, then the next Monday. It becomes a tool to help you to be operating on a different frequency.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about the money. So what's the investment for this and everything?
Yes. So the Modern Mentor program is $15,000 USD. There's a pay in full option and there is a payment plan option. Obviously, pay in full energetically is going to have the most impact, because if you pay in full to become a coach, your clients will be more likely to pay in full. Why? Because it's an assumption that you have. So if you can pay in full, then that's absolutely energetically going to be your best option. If you cannot, we have a payment plan for people to be able to do it that don't have the 15,000. So I think about myself when I wanted to become a coach and I didn't have the money and I had to figure it out and all these things. The payment plan was helpful for me. I paid it off within a couple of months, but it was helpful for me in that time. So we want to make sure that we have that option for you. Yeah. Now, financially, the most important thing to think about is that this is a business expense, personal growth and development in order for you to advance yourself in your business. So many other businesses like brick and mortars, you invest to rent the space, to buy the product, to fill the store. So that's what this program is for you, an investment into your business with an expectation that it comes back quickly. So I always ask the question, do you think that a program like this would help you to make $15,000 in your business? Would it pay for itself? Of course it would. Yeah. Now, what about in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? It would probably double, triple your income simply because of the effects that this information will have on you in your career. The other piece too is if we want to get you up to $10,000 months, that's our goal, is to get you up to a $10,000 month really, really quick. Then you have this paid off in a month and a half.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know that a traditional first business doesn't become profitable until its third year of business?
Totally. Or more.
Yeah. So our goal is to get you profitable within the 6 months of being with us.
Yeah. Totally.
Unheard of, but hey, I did.
Yeah, I think there's probably two camps out there. When we say the price, there's the people who are thinking, oh, it's less than I thought, because we were talking about, but then there's people who are thinking, oh, okay, that's a lot. I don't necessarily have that, like a stack of cash, 15 grand just laying around. But it's like, okay, but relative to what? So,
I know.
Yeah, we're going to.
This is the thing. Like now I like the law of relativity. It cost me 42,000 and I made 3.3 million in my first year. And we're at a point where I'm up to, we're on the edge of $20 million in revenue in 2.5 years. And it cost me 42,000. I mean, it's pretty small. So 15,000 in relative to what? Where are you going? What would you love to do? You can answer this right now in the comments. What type of business would you love to have? Would you like to be a 7-figure earner, $1 million in a year? Well, $15,000 to do that is nothing. That's pennies. 11.
Ooh, 11.
Yeah. So truly, it's all the way that you look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, how do you see Modern Mentors being like kind of the perfect solution to help you align with the future of this coaching industry that we're in?
Oh, because I am paying attention and I am pivoting and I am continuing to grow and expand and become the next level version coach and mentor in this industry. I will continue to pioneer. I will continue to be consistent and persistent, and I will always show up and I will always learn and try things first to be able to turn around and allow you to do something faster because I've already done it myself first. You can absolutely trust in that.
100%. Yeah. Well, we're excited. Why are we excited?
We're so excited because honestly, this is the culmination. This is what I'm here to do. I know that. And I've experienced what I've experienced because I'm supposed to teach other people to do it. And I would be remiss if I didn't really step into it and do it in the way that I feel so authentic and genuine. And by allowing you to step into your power, and to allow you to be you and create your business and your offers and build your dream life, that is my purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, was there anything that you wanted to talk about that we didn't talk about?
Oh my gosh, we talked about so much.
I know this has been good.
I just want to say, if you're listening to this interview today, my best piece of advice is when you get off this interview, ask yourself, what would I love? Would I love a successful coaching business? And if I would, what does that look like? And then ask yourself, who do I need to be to do that? And one of the best videos that I did with you once, Tommy, was like, how do you make a decision to invest in something? You invest in something as if you were the person that already accomplished it. So if you wrote down a 7-figure coaching business, you ask yourself, would that version of me invest in myself? Of course.
Yeah.
I am a woman that always invests in myself. I'm a woman that always takes risks, that grows. And so step into that version. And this is an opportunity. This is a universe saying it's time.
Yeah.
It's time for you to step into it. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think one more question they should ask is, ask yourself, after hearing this and from what you've seen, do you believe that Kathleen Cameron can help you get there quicker, faster?
Oh, yeah.
So ask that question too. Okay, everyone who wants to get started, what should they do?
So we have a landing page where you can go and take a peek. You can actually purchase right from that link as well. So there's information on that landing page about the program, when it starts, the cost, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. And so you can just literally go in and buy right off that landing page, pay in full. You can enter into a payment plan. If you are someone that is finding that what you need to know is not on that landing page, just comment info on this video or email info@diamondacademy.ca and someone will reach out.
Beautiful. We're going to put the link here with wherever this interview ends up being posted. So you can check out that page, or just put info in the chat if you want to have a call with someone to learn more. I think that's it. Any final words?
I just want to say that I'm just so excited to come alongside everybody and to build our businesses alongside one another. So I think that's another really important facet to understand, is that I'm over here doing what you're doing too. Yeah. I'm growing, I'm expanding, I'm building a business. And for us to be able to be partners in doing that alongside one another, I'm honored and I'm excited to see all your success. So
yeah,
to our combined impact.
Yes, to our combined impact. All right. Well, let's leave it there.
Thank you guys so much. With gratitude.